I'm realizing how waking up is coming from this space. So when I'm sleeping, in the depths of the unknown ocean, which can be like an oceanic cage, cave, scale, pool, releasing into the unknown. So this is where I go into where I'm sleeping, back here. Because contrast is a great teacher, and I'm realizing that something that's been teaching me as I've been watching and walking this dog is the inverse, as in like the full rotation of the horizon going from this to this is one position, as in one polarity, and then the other is walking the dog, or the Sistine Chapel touch point. It takes it from this place to then through the body, and now here, pointed, if you could picture it like the tip of the arrow. And so it goes from this into this. So it brings me from universal, unknown / collective consciousness into the touch point of self-consciousness. And not just this point of self-consciousness, but the edge, like the edge of Superman's knuckle. This part is right here, touching the touch point with the universal here in the self-conscious realm relative to my body. I can't say that this is self-conscious realm because this is self-conscious realm. So it's interesting coming from this place. And so then when pulled here to this position, it could feel like, oh, I don't want to go here. So like this, just like the dog, you know, pulling or being pulled, it's pulling me, like dredging me from the depths of the unknown unconscious ocean and bringing me into the self-conscious realm relative to the touch point. Again, like the tip of the spear, the tip of the edge of the arrow, like the, could probably be like Pac-Man, you know, but the touch point. It brings me here, especially when the dog is pulling me. I'm like, you know, it's beyond me, but I'm feeling, but I'm not feeling like the lean back where it's behind me or where it's necessarily all here. It's like, oh, my momentum's like here, which is, I think, like being having released the wax wings and now being like the barrel that's going over Niagara Falls, Frankie, because now you're barreling forward with the chest where you're like, I'm going, you know, that's, I think, rolling downhill like that one movie with As You Wish. Can't remember the name of the movie right now. Inconceivable. As You Wish is like the gyroscope. So it pulls me from sleep into waking, universality into self-consciousness. Perhaps not presently embodied in whatever this kind of body is, into embodying this. But then also the touch point is the integration. So it's bringing me through this body. You know, it's not this, it's not this. It's like, I'm touching out here. Again, just like the Sistine Chapel. But the two fingers that are touching are my self-conscious representation and the universe. So ultimately, I think we can call this, which is basically from the flat book open, you know, if you picture this as the book, now it's open, just like the horizon, like a rainbow, like a slinky, like a wormhole, sine wave, this kind of thing. Bringing it from here to here is going from this, the sleep place, into the waking place. So it's experiencing the full spectrum. It maybe even goes, you know, the full circle, gyroscopically, spherically. So it's popping up the pop-up book. And then when we're upright, we're coming from here to here, and now it's like, so now I'm in this position relative to the book, 90-degree angle. And then you can also lean forward. So now it's that touch point. Now we're integrating, and that's throughness. That's the cycle of through. This is the baton. Think of the 100 meters. You're passing the baton, and somebody's receiving. You know, interconnective chain linking energy consciousness is receiving. So I'm receiving here, scooping, coming up, passaging. Touch point is the passage. Passage of the baton, passaging of the river Styx, passaging throughness. This also relates to bringing source and resourcing from one side to the other side. Because in various ways, if one has ever experienced kind of going to the other side, whether that's through a typical or a type of trip, or, you know, different types of trips, one may find, whether that's sleep or taking what we call travel, or, you know, it could be psychedelic and or whatever. There's a lot of different ways, but when you tap into that other source, the universal source, sometimes it can be tricky to then bring that into this self-conscious realm. It's like, oh, I had this thing in my dream or wherever, I got to that other place, but then all that I have now is just these tiny threads, and I can't even remember the connection, because right there it was all together, because you're an interconnective source here. So I think this through-ness that I'm talking about, the pop-up book, and the different, all of the different degrees of this full spectrum is through-ness of bringing the resource here, and then you have it with you here, and then you can pass it here with intentionality, as opposed to it just being spontaneous and you being like, oh, I left all of this stuff back there, it was so great, I was there, and now I'm here and it's all gone and there's nothing here, so what I'm passing is even just a guess or perhaps a lie. But when you're practicing the through-ness, as I'm talking about, and especially I think this is remaining opening into difference through the consistency of the experience of this into this into this, you now carry source material with you. So now you're like, oh, I can access it here and I can bring it here and I still have it and I can work with it. And like, damn, it's just like testing the element, like a jungle gym where you're like, hold on, what? This works here? I still have it? Let me test it. Oh, it's here. And then you're like, here, you can have this golden nugget. Like, I can passage this on. So that's literally this process I'm talking about, is tapping universal source, bringing it into self-conscious source, and not losing it, basically, and still being able to work with it. And having like, it's basically like going from what is, all these granules into like a golden cylinder. So you're like, accessing source, and then you're like, still accessing. So I guess that's maybe relates to the Donnie Darko tube of like, you're accessing universal source and now you're tubing it into here. So you're like, yeah, I still got it, it's right here. And then you're like, now you can work with it here, and now you're like, I can pass it if I want to, I'm always in relation. So you can almost see this as the through line, and then this is the wave of my body is, perhaps you got the through line and then the waves that are working with the through line, and that is fluid structure or structural fluidity, which those things are happening simultaneously. If I could go like that, picture like a dolphin, or the way that rabbits leap, or a rainbow, or there's infinite ways to see the whoosh. But we just, we don't see this part of the dolphin maybe because we're only seeing above the surface. But this is what's going on, is through line like jazz, the collective rhythm. And then people can solo off of that. They're like, boom, 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 boom. You're like, whoa, where do they go? But then they bring it all back together and you're like, whoa, that's this. From here, source, to here, to here. That's this. That's also the horizon. This is the rotation happening of source and resourcing material. And practicing into consistent access as an integration of like, oh, I can tap it here and I'm still in touch, tap with it, 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 and I'm still in touch, tap with it. And you can see, and then we can go, that's the book. Tapping into the resources, accessing the resource, opening the book. It's not even necessarily closing the book. It's kind of like the book is always opening and closing, just like a dial. So this is source material. This is insight, wisdom, realization, revelation. Source material. Scooping. I got it. I still got the scoop. I still got the scoop. Here, take the scoop. I still got the scoop. I still got the scoop. I still got the scoop. Okay, so another way to look at this. The passage of the baton, the horizon rotating, is contact and participating in consistent contact, as opposed to losing touch or feeling out of touch or feeling misaligned or feeling all alone or isolated, etc. This is being in consistent integrative touch with interconnective source material, which is the interconnective tissue of space material, which is what we are, which is what this is, which otherwise could feel like we are the gap in the sequence. But instead, with integration, it's like, oh, I'm always in contact. Here, here, here. So it's like here, 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 here. It's always contact. That's the rainbow. I'm always participating in this light and love. And just like there could be this, there is also, let's see how to do it, like that. There's also that.